Hi, my name is Morgan Byrne, and I'm the director of our Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning here at Mount West Community and Technical College. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to locate our Adjunct Hub. The Adjunct Hub is kind of our one-stop shop for all things professional development, assistance with assessment outside of the assessment forms and resources shell, which is discussed in a different video, and more. And you can get all of these resources, again, all in one place in Blackboard in particular. So we're going to go ahead and start with how you locate this course shell once you are in Blackboard Ultra. So when you enter Blackboard Ultra, you're either going to see your list of courses to which you are assigned like this as a kind of series of thumbnails, or you're going to see the list option. Usually Blackboard defaults to this list option, and you can toggle to the other one by utilizing these 9 dots right here. Now, in either version, you're going to see a search bar that says search your courses. What you're going to do is type adjunct. And usually once you just type adjunct, it will pop up. You can type in the full name. That's fine too. And you will see the only thumbnail that is under the adjunct umbrella. So that is our Adjunct Hub. Now, what I will recommend is hitting this little star right here. If you're anything like me, you're in Blackboard a lot, you're maybe also teaching multiple classes and not just the one each semester. If you've been teaching from out west for a while, you'll have a stack of classes, of courses after a while, and favoriting the course shells sends them directly to the top of the list. So for me, that's super helpful, helps to keep everything organized. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this little star. And once I do that, it will be right here in my favorites up top. Although if you don't want to go to your favorites, again, you can just access it by searching and entering the course shell there. So I'm going to go ahead and enter, and I'm going to turn on my learner preview so that you can see it exactly as it will appear for you. So let's go ahead and talk about what's in here. So first things first, we have a Welcome to the Adjunct Hub section that talks about what the hub is, how it works. I do want to highlight this bold section right here, which reads, "This is not a course, and you are not expected to complete assignments." So even though it's housed in Blackboard Ultra, you're not enrolled in a course. This is just a one place, one-stop shop to dump everything that we think could be useful, right? All of our resources, links, etc., that adjuncts could use. It's also important to note, too, that we do have professional development opportunities that are available both in person and on Zoom, and every single session that's on Zoom, you access through this Blackboard course shell, and everything that is recorded during those sessions then automatically is housed here. So that's why it's in Blackboard. So you're not completing any courses. Now, if you are new to Mount West, or maybe you just haven't met all of our deans, I do have welcome videos from each of the deans as well, explaining who they are, what they do, etc. If you want to learn even more about the people that work at Mount West, the lovely faculty and staff, we do have a streamlined directory. That streamlined directory was created in collaboration with new faculty who wanted a more condensed version of the folks they would be interacting with more consistently than others, right? Sometimes it's a little intimidating to go to the full directory and see all of those different people, and maybe you don't quite know who you're looking for. In this streamlined directory, it just focuses on deans, VPs, administrative assistants to whom you send your syllabi, our folks that are over tutoring, and anybody that you would just be in contact with on a regular basis. So, for instance, we don't have business services included in our streamlined directory. Not because they're not important. They're great. They're super important, but you're not likely to interact with them. And, of course, the video tour, which will be here once I've completed it. Once you've visited our welcome page, there are a couple other things you will want to note before we get into the modules. The first is the professional development opportunities for that semester. So as I'm recording this in June of 2026, we are preparing for fall, which means the fall professional development opportunities are listed here, and these graphics will be updated once all of the class scheduling is finished, but I can confidently say we have the months figured out for these. So I do want to note that all professional opportunities at Mount West are open to adjuncts. They're not just for full-time faculty. So coming up this semester, for example, we will have highlights from our summer symposium, dynamic instruction, regular and substantive interactions, and teaching with AI. For adjuncts in particular, we're going to be offering a 3-part acing assessment series talking about the basics, working with data. So what types of performance data do we want versus what kinds really aren't all that helpful, like attendance, for example. Attendance is great, but it does not demonstrate whether or not students can comprehend that information and then apply it later. And then finally, writing that course or program assessment report. And all of these can be accessed right here in the Adjunct Hub. So you can see at the click of a button everything that the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning is doing in a given semester. And let's say that you want to attend one of these sessions, but you can't be here in person. No worries. All you have to do is hit Zoom Access. And there are our 3 acing assessment sessions. Now, I do want to note that because this course shell is for adjuncts only, regular faculty, full-time faculty rather, are not in this course shell. The Zoom link is just for the sessions that are just for adjuncts. However, you can access the Zoom link for all of our other sessions in the calendar invite that you receive, because anytime the CETL sends out a calendar invite to faculty, we include both full and part-time faculty. So you'll access those Zoom links there. And all of those recordings will go straight to our YouTube channel. Okay, let's talk about the 3 modules that you are going to see when you enter our course shell. The first of which is Mount West Resources. This includes a recording of the adjunct orientation. Let's say that you missed it. Here is a recording of all of that information. Information about our various course modalities here at Mount West, and how to add that Zoom option that you just saw here in Blackboard. So there are a couple different buttons that you need to hit, a couple settings that you need to consider, and there is an extra step to actually adding it to appear in the course shell and not just the tools menu. So all of that is here, as well as some general recommendations. Information about navigating our website, submitting attendance. So submitting attendance is different from taking attendance if you've been with Mount West for a while, or if you've been teaching at any institution that uses attendance tracker as a tool. So being able to record that attendance is great, but of course you do need to still submit that attendance by clicking the last CRN or CRN last date of attendance button. So this section walks you through how to do all of that. We have a video about classroom technology. If you've never been in one of our classrooms, this walks you through how to use the tablet, how to use the projector. We have troubleshooting for things that are pretty common in some of the rooms, including walking into the room and seeing that your computer screen is not displaying on the projector. It might just mean you need to duplicate it, and we have the keys that you will need to click to make that happen. So as you're making your way through this module, you will see that most of it is just stuff to make sure that you're ready to go on that first day. I do want to highlight too that in addition to course prep, which does also include information about submitting syllabi, we also have resources around the college, including tutoring services, student services, IT services and how to enter a ticket, and campus safety and security. Finally, we have a frequently asked questions page. So for example, let's say that you are wondering whether or not adjuncts are eligible to participate in AQ, which is something that we're doing for the next 2 years. And that would be a good question because likely the entire college is going to hear about it all the time. And we are considering bringing in adjuncts for our second cohort. So yes, beginning in fall 27, it will be open to adjuncts. Or am I allowed to change the learning outcomes on my syllabus? Absolutely not. Please do not. Leave those alone. We have to make sure that all of our outcomes are consistent across the board. And if an outcome does need to be changed, it has to go through curriculum. There is an entire process associated with it. So whatever course and program learning outcomes you are given, make sure those stay exactly as they are written. Once we are out of that module, we then find instructional design and assessment. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hit assessment first, just because it has a little bit less going on. Like I mentioned at the top of the video, there is a bespoke course shell all about assessment, and you, as an adjunct, are enrolled in that course. So for all things assessment, you really want to go there. But I do have information in this module about how to find the assessment course shell, including screenshots, so it shows you exactly how to get there, and there is a video version as well. And then the adjunct instructors and assessment. So what is your role? What should you be doing? Who might you contact outside of your direct report if you have additional questions? All of that is here. So then finally, let's talk instructional design. So we have two different folders. One is student learning and engagement, which includes at the moment, and we intend to add more to this as we continue to develop this hub, creating a welcoming class environment, facilitating a meaningful dialogue, and engagement in online and flex courses. These offerings in particular are from the survey that we sent out to adjuncts last semester. We, the CETL, asked, what do you guys want to see? How interested are you in participating in professional development? And the response was overwhelmingly positive. People said, yes, absolutely, I want in. And these were some of the things they were looking for. So engagement popped up a lot. There was a lot about assessment, and then a lot about Blackboard Ultra. So especially if you are new to Blackboard Ultra and you are like, I don't know how to handle any of this, that is what this is for. So I do want to highlight the structure of our facilitating meaningful dialogue section. So what this does, if we're talking about meaningful dialogue, we are talking about having meaningful conversations or debates potentially in your classroom about topics that are important, topics that might be a little heavy. So what this little lesson does is walk you through the planning, implementation, and assessment stages before leading you to an Instructor Insights video. And this Instructor Insights video includes members of the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning talking about how they build and then facilitate these discussions in their courses. So you're not just getting links to random PDFs, but you are actually getting insight from people who teach at this institution. All right, so let's talk about Blackboard. So we've got creating modules and documents. This is like the bare bones, the very beginning, talking about the differences between them. So these are modules, for example, whereas this is a document. We do have some step-by-step guidelines, including screenshots for how to create each one, and then of course a video guide for each of them. However, as we get further into this module here, we can see that things get a bit more advanced as we progress. This section is all about rubrics grading and providing feedback. So what does grading look like? How do I handle it? How can I add in a little comment on a bespoke sentence in a document? We've got a guided video for that. And then let's say that I want to build a document in Blackboard and I want to do a little bit more than just slap a file in there, which you should. You should definitely do more than that. This lesson walks you through exactly how to do that, including how to put in a YouTube video, how to create the cute little borders around your documents as you're putting those together, and every single portion of that is documented in this video. Next, we have the conversation functions. There are two that are highlighted here in Blackboard. We've got the class conversations, and for some reason, our image isn't working right now, so I'm going to go ahead and open it here. There we go. So I'll figure out why that's not working right now, but here, as you can see, we have a screenshot of our exercise settings and how to allow that class conversation when you are creating an assignment in Blackboard, and the way that class conversations function. We also have a video for how to put those in and how to utilize those. And then our AI conversation tool as well. And again, for some reason, image not popping up here, but that is okay. We're just going to download it so that you can see proof of concept, and it will appear whenever you are utilizing our Blackboard shell once this goes live for everyone. So it also explains how to get through these different stages of setting up this conversation. Next is a section dedicated solely to the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning. We've got our YouTube channel, we have our physical libraries, we have digital libraries, and our website. I encourage you to reach out and utilize our resources. They are for everybody, full and part-time. And then finally, information about the Home Framework Training. Home Framework Training, Home standing for a humanistic online model for engagement. And this is directly from Marshall University. We share our Blackboard Ultra services with Marshall, and they provide this really, really excellent training for their faculty and for our faculty to make sure that we are teaching the best possible online courses. And if you're teaching a good online course, that also guarantees, or at least gets you in the right direction towards teaching a really solid high flex course. If you are at all interested in learning more about the Home Framework training, you can always click on this hyperlink right here. We have additional resources as well, including their information about regular and substantive interaction, which, as you noticed earlier in the video, is going to be the subject of one of our sessions this semester, and I imagine we'll be talking about it for a while. So that is, in a nutshell, our Adjunct Hub. Thank you so much for watching this video. If there's something else that you feel like should be in this course shell, by all means, reach out to me. I would be more than happy to talk with you about it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!